Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our mindful living uh, video today. So, there are some things that have been on my mind this weekend. I'm kind of a deep thinker, and so I have been thinking about the greatest adventure of a lifetime. Now, if I was to ask you what is your definition of the greatest adventure of a lifetime, you might immediately start thinking about a trip that you could take, an adventure that you could go on, like skydiving or rappelling, or I don't know. It just depends on the individual person as to what that adventure would look like. For me, it was tubing down the Provo River or going zip lining, those things that I hadn't had the courage to do before, but that I wanted to explore what that would be like in my life and identify things that really I could identify with and experience something new. So maybe your idea of the greatest adventure is going to school and getting a degree in something that you've always wanted to learn about or to do. Maybe it's obtaining a job that you've always dreamed about. Sometimes that greatest adventure is getting married and raising a family. That certainly is an adventure of a lifetime, and a beautiful one at that. But the adventure that I want to talk to you about today began when you were just a child. Do you remember when you would just imagine and play without any reservation at all? You would imagine yourself being a fireman or a policeman or a doctor, or I know in my case, and it may not seem very big, but one of the things that my sisters and I would do is we would play restaurant. And one of us would pretend that we were the customer, and the other one would write down the orders. And then we'd go back and we had all of our little play food and our plates and cups and all of those things. And we would make up the meal and bring it out and pretend like we were in a restaurant. Or we would pretend that we were in a grocery store. And so one of us would be at the cash register and we would scan all of the play fruits and the vegetables and all of the little toy things that we had. And we would spend hours playing this. And I loved it. And it was that imagination. There was no reservation. There wasn't anybody that told me that that was a stupid idea or I would never be able to do that. It was something that just was fun and brought life into me. So maybe my ambitions for my life's adventure didn't seem all that grand, but in my little heart, that was what I wanted to be. When I played with my baby dolls, that was the greatest thing that I could ever imagine being, was being a mom. So that certainly has been an adventure of a lifetime. What happens is that sometimes it doesn't take very long after that process for us to start to doubt ourselves. Do you know that they have done studies and they have found that children, by the time they reach first grade, so 6, 7 years old, they begin to doubt themselves? Because pretty soon they've got kids who are teasing them about what they say or how they think. Maybe they don't measure up in one of the academics of school. And so they start to become more self-conscious and they become more self-critical. Now that is a really young age to have those dreams kind of squashed. Now, if you think back in your own life for just a minute, think back to when maybe you started to question whether or not your dreams really could be a reality, that who you felt you were, the things that you liked to do and that made you you. you started to question and doubt those things. And maybe they got put on hold. Maybe you did go after those dreams. I know for my son, he always was very interested in how the body functioned, and he was interested in the medical field. And from the time that he was a little boy, I remember him saying, I'm going to be a doctor. And so he's gone through that process of saying, gosh, is that really what I want to do? Can I really accomplish that goal? And yet now he's in the middle of his PA schooling. And despite all of those challenges and those doubts, those self-doubts that came along, because it's hard, right? So he would question, is that really what I want to do? Am I going in the right direction? He was very prayerful about it. And here he is, he's about ready to start his rotations. And so he continued pushing on. And my other children have done similar things. And a lot of times what happens is we see individuals in our lives that we really look up to. And maybe they are doing the very thing that we wished we could do. Or maybe they take care of themselves the way that we wished that we could. There's all kinds of things. Maybe they have the house we want. Maybe they have the car we want. And we start to develop a real discontent with our lives and with who we are. Another aspect of this is sometimes we just get so busy and wrapped up in our day-to-day things that are going on that we end up losing that identity as to who we are and what really sparks us, what brings us to life. And I've had women that have come to me and have said, I really just want to get to know myself. I feel like I've lost myself somewhere in this process, this journey of life. Somewhere I have lost myself, and I really would like to get back to me and find out what it is that I like. What is it that sparks my joy and gets me excited to get up in the morning? So that's kind of where I want this idea to go. Maybe over the next week, you could give yourself an assignment to just kind of sit down and think for a minute, what was the imagination that you had as a child? What were the things that you dreamed about, that you wished that you could have happen in your life that maybe you've lost? And then what is one step that you can do that can help you to progress and moving forward to those dreams that you have, coming to find out who you are? I know that I've talked before about something that I would do with my family in regards to new meals that I would make. And so I would put a smiley face if everyone liked it. I would put kind of a straight face if it was okay, but not all that great. And a frowny face if it was something that I didn't like. And so you can do this with your life's adventure, this great adventure. Try something out. You never know until you try it, whether or not it's something that you are going to enjoy. So try it out. If it's something that you don't like, it's all right. Just put a frowny face next to it and try something else. Find that thing that really brings a spark inside of you and that helps you to be identified specifically with who you are, not with what society has told you you need to be, or those false beliefs that you have adopted for yourself. We need to kind of question those things and really start to develop the life that you want to live. Now, there is one key element to this that is crucial, and that is, what is the kind of life that God wants you to live? He gave you this life. We are created in His image, and He's made each one of us as an individual, unique in our own self. And I heard the the reference to this as being your soul print. And just like everybody's fingerprint is different, there's not a single person on this planet whose fingerprint is the same as yours. Well, the same thing is true about your soul print. Who are you? What makes you unique, individual? What do you have to offer to the world? And maybe it is the same talent or gift that somebody else has, but the way in which you offer it is different. And it is those types of things that God will help you to be able to expand and to grow, help you to develop that self-confidence and image that you can move forward and live your life in a way that you don't have to have anybody else's approval. You don't have to be wondering about what somebody else thinks about your decisions and how you decide to live. Now, I will say that those decisions need to be tied in with your core values, the things that are most important to you. Because if those things go contrary, there is always going to be a discontent and there will always be a longing. You'll always feel like something is off and that you're continuing to search. So look at those things. Look at the discontent. Look at the longings. What are they? And why are they there? They can be helpful tools in enabling you to be able to understand more about yourself and what direction it is that you really need to go. Okay, well, that's all I had for today. I know it's a short video, but I wanted to be short and sweet on this and just tell you that you are wonderful. Your life can be the greatest adventure that you ever live. And so go out and grab it, grab a hold of it, find out what it is that makes you excited to get up in the day, where you can look in the mirror and you know exactly who you are. So I hope you have a good day, my friends. Take care, and I will see you next time.